So another key thing about creating your profile, when I have this point here, I intentionally didn't line up with this. Had this been lined up here, do you see how I got that blue line? It's going to lock a coincident to that. So if I were to highlight this right now, oh, it's already locked a coincident. Even if I try and remove this coincident, try and click on it and delete it, which is nearly impossible with my cursor, I can grab it off the tree, that coincident, and delete it. And you think, okay, cool, now I've deleted the constraint. I should be able to use that auto constraint feature and highlight all of this. Reference this line and this line and stack dimension it. See, this coincident came right back. The first thing it did was put that coincident right back. So you do not want to have that coincident. Even if the dimension called out for it to be that size, you don't want it to be coincident. You want to control that with different dimensions. And then you just edit the value so it would be coincident if it just so happened to be coincident. But I don't want this coincident to force that point to be on that line where I can't control them to be different. So when I drew out this shape, let's see, let's come over an inch and a half maybe. I made sure not to snap here, even if that's where I wanted it. I would snap it down here or over here, just anywhere that doesn't line up with anything else. So you have to watch out for your geometrical constraints. Whoops. I think I had a little bit more of an angle on that. And then when I create the hole, I made sure not to start here because it will link it to that line. And I didn't start over here and say come over all the way over here because it will link to the bottom of the line and to the edge on the left side. I don't want that. I just build it here and then auto constrain it by first putting on the constraints I want to control, which is the angle constraint, and a constraint from this point to this line. So the key to this part is constrain to the points. Constrain to that point and to angles. So any points or any angles that you have, make sure those are constrained first. Also, let's say I wanted to control this dimension up here. Since that dimension doesn't come from the datum, then you want to control that if you were trying to control this length here. So the rules to auto constrain are dimension to points, dimension angles, dimensions not coming from the datum. And you'll get 90% of auto constraint to work, if not all of it. Let's give this a shot. Just watch what happens. Using auto constraint from the action pad, reference these two lines and stack dimension. Select OK. Again, right away, set these as your datums. Now, this case, I'm good to go here. I want to go to the dialog box and fix perpendicular, horizontal, vertical, or off. Select OK. I analyze it. I know it's fully constrained. Now I'm safe to move numbers around. All right, I want you to create a Word doc that shows this part, and I want you to circle in red the 3 dimensions I had to create in Y on your Word doc. And I also want you to change this to a diameter because all holes should be diameters. Nobody asks for a 1/4 inch radius hole. They just say we want a 1/2 inch hole. And that means that the hole will be a 1/2 inch diameter. Alright, see if you can create this part like this. Circle the 3 constraints that you had to build to make it look like this.